What the heck? Bro, Perry, help, help. Oh, hey, what's up, Roblox, Perry? Landon keeps controlling me. He won't stop playing the hunt. It's all he's been doing for 3 days. You gotta help me. You gotta help me. I have completed all 100 badges in the Roblox Hunt event, and today I will be ranking them all from worst to best. I actually did stream a lot of these on my YouTube channel, so I will be using some of the footage for that if I did do those games, but if I did not, I will just be using footage I found on YouTube because I'm lazy and don't feel like playing the game over again and recording myself playing it. Okay, for the rating system on these, it's going to be kind of random, but kind of based on my opinion. So what I'm going to be doing is it's going to be based off of how much fun it was to play just as a game in general, and how much I enjoyed playing it. Also, creativity, how interesting and creative it was, and also how much effort was put into the event. Okay, so let's get started with our 100, which is also my least favorite out of all of them. This one was the absolute worst. This one made me want to pull my hair out and cry and die in a fiery car crash. This one was awful. Not only was it not creative in the slightest, and all you had to do was get your fruit to level 15 and get 2 kills, but it was absolutely difficult. It was so awful. It was so annoying because of all the annoying people there were in the game that would just spam kill you. It was awful. I hated this one. I wanted to pull my hair out, and I hated it. It was the worst. It was awful. Last place. I don't really think this one was that bad, but I just really don't like football, and I'm just not a big football guy. So when you're forcing me to play a football game for like 4 quarters, that was like 40 minutes, it was awful. I pretty much just AFK'd the whole time. You basically just had to sit there for 4 quarters. It was so unoriginal, not creative at all, and it was just not fun to do at all. Football Fusion 2 was actually a little bit better than the previous football game because it was much shorter. All you had to do was do a catch and a tackle, but it was still not creative in the slightest, and they didn't even try. And I still don't like football, so that also helps. Obby But You're on a Bike was honestly just sad. It was just a time waster. It took me like 45 minutes to do. It was awful. It was so boring. But yeah, there's nothing to really say about this one. It wasn't creative in the slightest. It didn't really do anything for the hunt. It just gave you a couple of quests to get to World 4, which is actually insane. That took so long to do. What were these people thinking? They didn't even try. It was so sad and pathetic. This was one I actually filmed. Obby But You're on a Snowboard was also just incredibly boring and slow. I don't know why they would add one for this, because all you had to do was wait 15 minutes, and it was so sad. Like, why would you have a Roblox event if you're just gonna add a 15-minute timer to it and get the badge? Yeah, I mean, it's only a little bit better than Obby with the Bike because it was much quicker. Like, it only took 15 minutes, while Obby with the Bike took about 40 to 50. So I would rather do this one over the other one, but still, it was really sad. It was not fun playing it. I don't know why I even did it on stream, to be honest. Pull a Sword is actually the first game I did on stream, I'm pretty sure, and you're seeing some footage of it now. But it was honestly just sad. I was miserable the whole time. It was so boring. I said multiple times that this game was bad because all you had to do was grind to get a certain sword, and it was just they didn't even try. They added a separate area, but I mean, it was so bad. I don't even know how Roblox would allow this game on here because it was so boring. I just stood there for about 30 minutes just clicking, and it was awful. I hated it so much. This one was basically just Pull a Sword. It has pretty much all the same materials. The GUI is basically the same. All it is that it's lumberjack instead of pulling a sword. So, you know, it's not that interesting at all. And the only reason it's a little bit higher is because, I don't know, chainsaws are better than swords, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. This one was just as bad. Always hated this game just because of how much of a cash grab it is and how pay to win it is. And when I realized it was on this, I planned on skipping it. I did not plan on doing this one. But both of my brothers have played this one, and they gave me some of their good pets so I could breeze through it. I mean, that's basically what I did. But it was really easy since I had their good pets. But all you had to do was reach Area 20, so it wasn't unique at all. And if I didn't have their pets, I would probably have been on it for hours. So, very bad event. feel like I made it very clear before with the football games that I'm not a big sports person, but this soccer league game wasn't that bad. It's still very low because I don't like sports games, but this game was fairly enjoyable. But again, it goes down so far because it's a sports game and I don't like sports games. And also the event was not anything to write home about. It was basically the same prompts as the football games. Nothing interesting, just playing soccer. That's about it. Weapon Fighting Simulator also is not interesting at all. The only reason this one is higher than the other simulator games is I think the sword circling the bad guys kind of looks cool. But again, it was just a game that tried to keep you there for a long time. It was a really boring one. There's a lot of these. I don't know why Roblox wants all of their boring games to be in the event. Like, did they not even check to see if they tried? Because they didn't. I played them all. They did not try. They didn't. Playing Twilight Daycare honestly felt like I was about to get arrested. Like, this game, I don't really feel like this game was that bad, but it felt like playing it at my age felt like I should probably be arrested for doing awful war crimes. Basically what you have to do is you either take care of a baby for a little bit, or you be a baby and have someone take care of you for a little bit. It was a strange game. Me and my brothers just wanted to get it over with quickly, and so we each took turns being the adults or the babies and getting the needs done so we could get out of here, because it's kind of a weird game. I got kidnapped by a bacon hare like 5 times. It was really weird. This is basically Murder Mystery 2, but instead of a murderer, you have a werewolf. And an egg spawns in the map, and only one person can have it each round. It was really infuriating, but luckily I got it like 25 minutes into the game. But it was still a really frustrating game, and it wasn't unique at all. It was really boring. Just an egg spawning in the game, and you have to pick it up. That's really it. All-Star Tower Defense is basically an anime tower defense games. I'm not a big fan of tower defense games, and I'm not a fan of anime whatsoever. So it's just two things that I don't like mixed together. Also, Roblox is having copyrighted anime characters in their big event that they're advertising. I don't understand that, and it doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, this didn't really have anything to do with the hunt. It had no big achievements or hunt-related things happening, so it was kind of lame. They just wanted the money. Or Tycoon, you basically just had to go in a big city and basically just look around for some crates. It was really simple, really easy. It wasn't really that interesting, but you know, it was simple and it was kind of quick, so it wasn't that bad. But I mean, they could have done a lot more than what they did. So I'm not even joking. Military Tycoon is the pretty much same as the War Tycoon. You go around looking for crates, and that's about it. Except they're a little bit more spread out, so I mean, it was a little bit more interesting flying around in a plane trying to find them. But, you know, it wasn't that much better. Car Crushers 2 didn't do anything interesting either. All you had to do was do a match against everybody else where you fight in your cars, and then you had to crush your car a little bit. It wasn't interesting, and I was really disappointed because I think the game is pretty good, but this was just, it wasn't good at all. I mean, I'm really sad about it because this game is a really cool game, but the hunt event is just awful. I actually really like the mechanics of Dungeon Quest, but it didn't really have anything to do with the hunt. You just had to get one loot. You had to beat up 100 enemies, and you had to defeat 2 bosses. And I mean, it was a really cool game, but in terms of the hunt event, they didn't really do much. This one was actually so stupid. You had to carry a box all the way to smash it, and then swim around a pool for like 5 minutes. It was so boring. You just swim around this pool waiting for the ice to melt on this, and then you spend another like 3 minutes trying to unpick this safe, and it was so boring. Like, you just sat here for 3 minutes just watching this guy pick it. And then the only memorable thing about this game was the memory tile challenge. That one was kind of enjoyable, but the rest of it, absolute trash. Awful. This was a game about just driving around the entire map and finding 25 bunnies. It doesn't sound that bad, but it can be really hard to find some of these little guys sometime. And, you know, it's not that fun. At least they did something for the hunt event. Like, I'm pretty sure every single one that we've gone through so far has not done a single thing in terms of actual theming. and this one at least has bunnies, so it's better than the rest that we've gone through so far, but you know, not by much. Break-In 2 is actually a game I really like. I really enjoy this game, especially the last half of it, but this event is nothing special. You just have to survive until Wave 3, and that's not very interesting. So for that, it's gotta go really far down for some points. But I really like this game, and it's really fun to play, so it goes a little bit up than the rest we've gone through. For this one, you basically just had to go around finding little coins based off of what the riddles say, and the riddles kinda help, but they don't really help that much if you don't know the map at all. So I pretty much just looked up a guide for this one. But yeah, you basically just going around looking for a few coins. So it's nothing that special, but they did at least do a little bit of something. So, you know, I gotta give credit where it's due. They did something at least. All you do is very slowly, in a hot air balloon, fly through the air collecting 10 blue orbs that are flying in the sky. It sounds kind of cool, but you're moving so slow. It's not fun. But I mean, the air balloon looks kind of cool, so there's some points for that. But that's it. There's not much to say about this one. I played this game before the event with my friends, just having fun. And if you had not have done that before, this event would have been much harder for you. You basically just had to kill, like, I think it was enough zombie egg head people to get 150 eggs in your basket, and it's not fun. You just have to kill a bunch of zombies over and over and over and over again, so it's nothing that crazy, but I mean, at least they put an egg on a zombie head, so I mean, it's something, but it's not much, so it's not very high up. I bet you can't guess what you have to do for this one. That's right, you just beat the game. Wow, so interesting. Wow, I'm so impressed. The only reason this game is that high up is because I like the look of the stars that you have to get. But really, you just play the game all the way through. You just run from the really ugly looking heads, and that's it. It's a pretty poorly made game. I don't know why this one made it in. Probably because it makes Roblox a lot of money, but it's not that interesting. It's kind of lame. You beat up a bunch of bad guys to get 25 eggs, and sometimes they won't even spawn them. So this one took like 25 minutes, I think, and it wasn't fun. It was just a really tedious, constantly killing bad guys game. It wasn't fun. The only reason it's up higher than the most is because I played this one with one of my brothers, and it was kind of nice having a conversation that wasn't that bad with him. So, you know, we had a conversation about how bad this game was, so at least we agreed on something. But yeah, it wasn't great. I was actually pretty bummed about this one. I remember having really good memories of playing this with one of my best friends for a couple days, and it was really fun. It was like about a year ago, though, and I really enjoyed this game. I think it was really cool, but the event was not good. It was basically the one that we just went through, and that's why it's only here. And the only reason it's higher than the other one is because I have good memories of playing this game. This one wasn't that interesting. It just tried to keep you in there for a long time so the people that own it can make you money. But well, I guess they make you money, and you don't get any money out of this. Very sad, boo-hoo, I know. But yes, it's not that interesting. The only interesting part is that they have a chest that they made for this event, and if you get all the eggs and you put it in there, it will explode with this really cool blue spiral effect. So that looked really cool, and that's the only reason why it's this high up, but yeah, it wasn't that great. Again, I'm not a big anime guy, so this one's not that high up. But I thought it was really well made with all your moves and stuff. But yeah, you basically just had to do a couple like dungeon quests or whatever they're called. So yeah, not that interesting. You basically just had to beat up a bunch of bad guys. But I like the animations of all your moves, so it goes a little bit higher. I know that there are a lot of people that do not like this game because only one egg spawns like every 5 minutes. And if one person gets it that's not you, good luck, because you gotta wait another 5 minutes to get that egg again. But I know a lot of people hate this one, but I didn't have that much of a problem. I got it my second try, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But again, you could just go on private servers, and you would be the only one in there, so you could get it first try that way. But if you're broke like me, just be good, honestly. Just be good like me, and you'll get it. So For this one, all you had to do was stay alive for like 3 rounds. It wasn't that interesting. I did like the aesthetic of the game. It was very cartoony in a way, but I really liked the aesthetic. But it had nothing to do with the hunt. It didn't try very hard. There was no hunt-related thing. It was just the game, and if you survive 3 rounds, then hey, look at you. You got the badge. Good job, little buddy. Have some pat-pats there. Have some pat-pats. In this Sonic game, you basically had to go around and find 100 of these little clumps of rubies. What was really bad about it, though, is that it's a Sonic game. You're supposed to keep going, go fast, right? So it makes sense to go through it and you collect it, but no, you have to stop in your tracks, pick it up by pressing F, and then keep moving forward. It's very tedious, it's not good, and, you know, the whole point of Sonic is you gotta go fast. You gotta keep going no matter what. So the fact that you have to stop and get 100 of these crystals makes it defeat the purpose of it. I mean, come on. I don't really like simulators, so I just watched TV in the background while I was having this going through. But I mean, it looks really nice. It actually looks like you're stepping into the world of SpongeBob. But I mean, it's not that interesting. It's just keep playing the game until you get to a certain point and you have gotten enough points to get the badge. So it's not that great. It's just your typical simulator. It's not that great. The thought of having superpowers is really cool to me, so naturally I was really looking forward to this game because I also really like tycoons, but you know, this one wasn't that interesting. It really made me sad because I was looking forward to this one, but it's basically just play the tycoon for the badge, and that made me upset because I was looking forward to the creativity that they were going to have, but turns out there wasn't much of any, so big bummer there. Another simulator, you know how I feel about these. Gonna be pretty low. The only reason this one's a little bit higher is because I had a few cute little quests to do that I didn't really mind that much because you had to look around the little space for it. So you know, I didn't mind it that much, but again, it was a simulator. So yeah, pretty low. All you had to do was serve 100 people. I don't even know what to say for this one. What do you want from me? All I did was serve 100 people. That was it. Boring. This one is literally the exact same thing, but they spit out golden eggs instead. So that's great. That's the only reason why it's better than the other one. Oh my goodness, it's Skibbity! Okay, the fact that they actually made me play this actually hurts my entire soul, so I'm just gonna get this over with quick. I enjoyed the egg hunt part of it, where you had to look for eggs around the map. I enjoyed that. But then they actually made me play the game, and then I did not enjoy it anymore, so that's why it's this low. So, yeah, to all my Skibbities out there, I hope you enjoyed this game. This one was basically get crushed by a speeding wall, but instead of a wall, it was a giant tsunami. So that one was kind of cool, but basically you had to go into this little like hole area, and there was supposed to be a different direction you can go into. Basically leads you outside, and you have to find this alien outside to get the badge. It's a lot of walking, so it wasn't that interesting, but I actually really appreciate the dedication of making the map for this, because I'm pretty sure none of this outside area existed before they made this. So I really appreciate that, but they could have like added a vehicle in there or something. I really love Platinum Falls' obbies. I think they're some of the best obbies on Roblox that he makes, but this one, all he did was add 10 donuts around the map that you have to find, and it was not interesting in the slightest, and that made me really sad because I love Platinum Falls and his obbies, but he didn't put any effort into this. And also the police officer, a Skibbity toilet. Flora's lava actually hurt my soul. You had to wait 8 entire rounds just to get to the core blocks one, which is, if you beat this one, you know, you get the badge and everything. But if you messed up once, if you messed up on this map once, good luck, because you gotta wait 8 entire more turns to get back to this one. So it's kind of agonizing. I really like the theming of this map. I think it looks very good. But again, like, I mean, come on, you're really gonna make me wait 8 more turns just to play this one again. It kind of sucks, but I really like the theming. You drive across the map looking for different items, and then you do a little mini game when you find those items. Not very interesting, pretty time consuming, and I was kind of upset about it because I've played this game before and it's kind of funny. So it actually hurts me how much they did not put effort into this game, because I joined the game, I walked around for about 2 seconds, and I got the badge. They should not be in this event if they're gonna do something like that. I mean, I don't mind a freebie every once in a while, but like, come on, that was just sad. This one was basically the same thing as the last one, but it took like 3 extra minutes to complete, so I mean I gotta give it something there. The only reason this one's better than the muscle one is because ninjas are better than muscles, and also it was like super easy and I got it within like 2 seconds. So yep, this I can't move it anymore. What is this one was basically just time consuming. You had to find 3 different chests and then dig them up. There wasn't really any theming around it. That was just it. So it was kind of sad. All you have to do is drive a truck into the designated location. So it was kind of simple and really easy. But I mean, I just drove a big truck the whole time, and there wasn't really any theming to it. So that was it. I do think this one was better than Obby, but you're on a bike, because it actually did give a crap. This one did have its own theming with the hunt, and it stink to have to wait until this theming happened, but once it did, it was pretty cool and it felt pretty rewarding to actually get the badge. I don't have much to say about this one. It was really simple and really easy. I got it first try. You have to get this energy core and then just stay alive the whole game. These kind of games just aren't really my kind of thing, so there was not much to say. This one was actually kind of cool because you had to ride your dragon through some portals and find some eggs for the mother dragon. It was pretty cool. I felt pretty heroic flying on a dragon in the sky looking for something. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad. This is another one that I actually got to play, and I actually enjoyed this one a lot. It reminded me of Murder Mystery 2, and so I enjoyed it a lot, actually. It was a ton of fun. It was pretty quick as well. There's not really much that had to do with the hunt, but I enjoyed it. This was a cute game. You had to race on a horse, but I mean the horse was really slow, and I don't know. It was fine. The horse was really slow though, so that kind of brought it down. But hey, we are now 50 games done. We're halfway there. Most of the games that we're going to talk about next are actually decent, and then towards the top 50. Towards the top 20 is the actual really good game, so I am really excited to get there. This game was basically just a small obby, but I actually really enjoyed it because I like obbies for the most part. So this one was actually an enjoyable obby, and I didn't think this one was too bad. I liked the mechanics, I liked the animations when you jumped. It was interesting. I liked it. This one was really annoying to do. You had to get 10 different items, and you had to kill somebody to get those items. If they died, you had to walk all the way over to their body to get the item. And that's really difficult to do when there's a giant open field with nothing to hide behind. It was a really frustrating game, and sometimes the people that you killed dropped items that you didn't need anymore. So it was really frustrating, but once you got the badge, it felt so rewarding. So that's really the only reason why it's this up high. For the most part, I actually really liked this game, but they didn't really do much. All you had to do was wait until night, do 3 objectives, and then survive until morning. And I do enjoy this game a lot, but it was kind of lazily made for the event. This was one I was actually expecting to hate because it's a simulator, but this one actually was not what I was expecting at all. All you have to do is drag an egg through 3 little rage games, it feels like, and they're actually really fun, and it has nothing to do with actual strength or anything, so I actually really enjoyed this one, and it was way better than I expected. However, it wasn't really hunt themed until the very end, and I felt like it could have used more of that. They did put effort into this one, I'll give them credit. They made 4 different new songs with a new background and everything, and it was actually really fresh, and I liked it. I'm a big FNF fan, so I enjoyed this one, and I didn't think it was that bad. This game was surprisingly not that bad either. You just had to move around the map and find the items that it was showing you the arrows to, and I don't know why I enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed some of the others that we've played so far, but I found it kind of soothing, so I enjoyed it. It didn't really have any hunt theming at all, but I thought it was enjoyable. This was basically Iron Man Simulator. You basically just beat up a bunch of bad guys as Iron Man, and it wasn't that bad actually. The controls were nice, and it felt really nice to fly through the air, but the repulsor did feel kind of weird to use, which is what you shot the bad guys with. That felt kind of wonky, but other than that, it wasn't that bad, and I enjoyed it. And if you don't believe me, go watch my streams, because I streamed that one, so you should go watch it. Go watch it! This one was the exact same as the other two restaurant ones. You just serve 100 customers. The only reason this one is higher than the others is because it stands out a lot more than the other two. You basically fly around as an animal and you do the little tasks it gives you, and once you do, you get the badge. Nothing that special, but I really like the world building of this. It didn't have anything hunt specific, but I like the map. It was very well detailed, and I like the animations of your little creature fella. This was definitely an interesting game. It's one of those dress-up games, but also you have to find 40 bunnies that are running around while you're dressing up. It was a really weird one. I mean, look at me. I'm thrilled to be here, but I mean, it was an interesting one. So that's really all I have to say. It was interesting. Nothing really hunt themed. It was more Easter themed. All you have to do for this one is actually really simple. Just chop up some wood, go in a little cave, and then give the wood to this little. Actually, he's not little at all. He's very tall. This big, tall bird thingy. You give it to him. He just kind of dips down and eats it, and then he poops out an egg that you got to give to a store owner. And that's really it. I mean, it was really interesting, actually, because I've never actually played this game, and I didn't even know it had a cave, and I thought it was basically just a tycoon, but it feels like a lot more than a tycoon. So, it was an interesting play, definitely. All you had to do was collect a bunch of eggs and bring them back to your base. And I know this is a game originally from Minecraft, so I don't know why they just kind of took it and are now promoting it everywhere. It feels like Minecraft could like sue them for this, but I mean, it was interesting. I did like going around looking for eggs, and I like the theming because I like Minecraft. But yeah, it was an interesting one. This is one that I tried to play, but I didn't really understand, and I realized later that it was broken, and I just got the badge for it anyway. But I actually learned a lot about this game beforehand. I was going to rate it really low because I didn't know what to do. But I've actually learned a lot about this game beforehand. And apparently the maker of it spent 2 actual days working on it. And he was so tired he fell asleep like working on it and everything. And I felt really bad, so I decided to put this up a lot higher. One of the best things I've seen about this game is that it has some of the actual best animations I think I've ever seen on Roblox. Like, they're so fluid, they're so smooth, and the fact that it only took this man 2 days to make this actually blows my mind, because something like this would take me weeks upon weeks of doing, and it looks just that good. So I'm very impressed with the animations, and that is honestly what carries this one so hard for me, because I never actually got the chance to play this game, and so I didn't know it was going to be this good, but I am very impressed with the animations, and for that alone and the dedication that the developer had for this game is really the only reason why it is this high up, because I'm not a huge fan of battling games, but this one honestly just really impressed me. This one is basically the same reason. I didn't really enjoy the game all that much, but it had voice acting in the cutscenes, which I thought was really, really cool. I didn't enjoy the actual gameplay part of it that much, but I thought the animations were absolutely amazing in this, and so I had to make it up a lot higher just for the dedication for making these animations as good as they were. I was very impressed, and I really like the animations, so that is honestly why it is this high up. But again, I'm not really a fan of these anime games, so that's honestly why it's not that high up, but it's still high enough up to be considered. Mega Hide and Seek was basically a game that I've already played before, but a more recent version of it. It wasn't that interesting, it was just play 2 games and survive those 2 games. But I really like the art style of this, and I thought there was a lot of cute little details to make it interesting enough. Royal High was actually really cool. You got to fly around and find some eggs, and I really enjoyed the flying animation, so I thought that was really unique. And I liked the world. It was really pretty. It was a really pretty world. So I give this one a higher rating just for that alone. So it wasn't that bad. I thought the fact that I had to take pictures, like take a selfie in Roblox with an egg, was really funny. It made me laugh really hard, and that's honestly why it's this high up, because I thought it was just that funny. So that's pretty much why it's this high up. It's just because I found it humorous. This one was a lot of back and forth, but I didn't think it was that bad. This was the second game I played for the Hunt event, so it wasn't that bad to me. But yeah, I enjoyed this one because I did this one with my brothers and we goofed around the whole time, and I enjoyed watching things destruct when I ran into them. But yeah, it was okay. This one was basically just driving around finding eggs, and it was better than the other driving game because I just got to drive in a straight path the whole time instead of going back and forth and back and forth. But it was basically just that and just do 3 races. It was really simple, and I actually enjoyed the car mechanics on this one. This one was pretty good too. All you had to do was really just look around the map for 10 spray cans and give them back to this homeless dude. So it was pretty fun. All you had to do was go around looking for 20 eggs, which were very, very easy to find because they were gigantic. So it was easy, but I enjoy a freebie every once in a while.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This one was actually pretty fun. You had to get the hunt thing specific, and then you had to guess if the questions were right or wrong. So it was cool. I liked it a lot, actually. It did have a lot of hunt theming, but not a crazy amount. This game would be a lot higher up if it had anything to do with the hunt. I actually really liked this game, and it was really unique, and every time you leveled up your characters, they would get a little upgrade, actually, like their clothes would change a little bit. And I actually really liked that, but it had nothing to do with the hunt, so I can't put it any higher than this. This is another simulator, and I don't really like those at all. But this one I actually enjoyed for some reason. It was quick, it was easy, and I actually looked forward to seeing what new animal I was going to get out of an egg every single time. So it was kind of gambling is what got me enjoying it, because every time we got an egg I was excited to see what the new animal was going to be. So I've heard actual horror stories about this game. There's a ton of people that really hate this one because you have to work with somebody else, and if you don't know the person you're working with, it can be a major hassle and it could be really bad. However, I did this one with one of my brothers, and I actually found it kind of enjoyable. He had to go around the map and basically just play it, but there was a bunch of eggs you had to look for, and there was also a really cool item that you got from it, which you did have to invite your entire friends list to get, but I actually really like the item. It's basically like a chocolate Dominus, and I really like it. I think it's really well made. So this one is not that bad for me. It was a little frustrating, but with my brother it wasn't that bad. I was intimidated by this one because I'm not very good at survival games, but this one was actually pretty simple, but I still enjoyed it a lot. You basically had to look for the chest that was marked on the map, and you just go there and you beat up the bad guy that was guarding it. And you actually did have to make a weapon. If you didn't, it would have been a lot harder for you. But I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was pretty well made. I didn't think it had very much hunt theming, but it was still overall pretty enjoyable, and I liked it. I am aware of how people think about Maple Hospital. I have not played this game until this event, and I know a lot of people don't like the event either because of how long it takes. But I'm also, by the way, I'm not a fan of the actual game. It's a very weird game. But this event I actually really liked. It had story, it was really interesting. There was like a little boss fight at the end that wasn't that enjoyable, you just kind of had to click, but I still really enjoyed the story they were trying to tell, and I didn't think it was half bad. Please Donate was actually really cool because it had a really cute cutscene at the beginning, and this is another one that I actually streamed. But I actually really liked the cutscene of the old western guy talking. I thought it was really well made. I did not enjoy the puzzles that you had to do that much. They weren't that enjoyable to me. And the digging for diamonds wasn't that great either. But I really enjoyed the talking at the beginning and the character. I thought he was really cute, and I enjoyed it a lot. This one was nowhere near as scary as I thought it was going to be. You basically have to walk around the map looking for eggs, which you can then exchange for money, which you then can exchange for the badge. And I thought that was really well done. However, the AI of the big bunny that's chasing you throughout the map is kind of terrible, because even if he's super far away from you and there's no way he'd be able to see you, he comes running after you in the most insane way possible, because he should not have seen you like that far away. Like, I would be super duper far away from him, and there would be 3 houses in between us, and he would be like, oh, look at that guy, I'm gonna run after him. Like, he can't see past a building. That's not how that works. So I didn't think that was good, but I did really like the design of the character. I thought he was really spooky, and I thought they did a good job with his design. I have not played Blade Ball before this. This is the first ever time I had played it was for the event, and I think event themed wise it was not good at all. All you had to do was get a certain amount of kills and hit the ball a certain amount of times. However, this was the first time I had played this game, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well made, I thought it was fun, I thought the way you had to get different swords and abilities was interesting, and I liked it. It was basically just gambling, but I enjoyed it. So, I think it is this high up just because of how much fun I had playing it, but the actual event was not great at all. Natural Disaster Survival is a game that I love. I have been playing it since 2016 when I first started playing Roblox, and it is a classic, and I come to it to play it every once in a while. However, their event was not very good. I had to get a clock, which there was like 3 or 4 that spawned on the map, and only one person could get one, and if you survived, you could bring it back up to the tower and give them to this time travel guy. Once he got 3 of them, you got the badge. And it was kind of difficult to get, but it felt really rewarding when you did because it was kind of hard to get. But yeah, I thought it was interesting and I liked the game, so it goes up a lot of points for that. But hunt theming wise, it wasn't spectacular. There are going to be a lot of people questioning why I put this one up so high because of how frustrating it was and how much it made people rage. However, that is why it's up this high. I remember when I was playing this game, I was so angry because I spent probably over an hour playing this one because of how difficult it was. However, once you got the badge, it was so rewarding. It was absolutely worth it once you got all the badges and you got to see the cutscene at the end. It felt really worth it and rewarding, and I loved that. I remember raging really hard while playing this and getting really frustrated, but I actually feel like I enjoyed the game, trying to figure out what to do, which ways to place the ladder were best, and I actually really enjoyed this game, and I might actually come back to it. But it was still really difficult, so it's not up that high. But they made its own hunt-related map, and I thought they'd put in a lot of dedication, a lot of work, and no matter how angrily mad you get at this game, it feels so worth it once you get the badge. Before I played the RB Battles one, I had heard it was super duper well made, and I do agree the cutscenes were well made. However, the old man and his facial animation kind of scared me, but I did really like the scientist animations because they felt much more fluid and real lifey. However, I did not really enjoy the minigames as much as I expected to. There was one that was a lot like Parappa the Rappa, and there was one that was like basically just beating up a bunch of rats in a sewer. However, they got stuck on the sewer pipes, and that wasn't that enjoyable either. But I really enjoyed the animations, and I thought it was really fun for what it was, and that's why it's up this high, because I enjoyed it. And if you don't believe me, just go to my streams, because I streamed it, and I thought it was fun, and you guys could interact with me and play the games with me, so you should have been there. I'm aware that I seem crazy. I know. Berry Avenue, pretty much all you have to do is go around different stores, getting the ingredients you need, and then going to your house and then making like a fruit bowl out of it. I understand that that should not be this high up, because it has nothing to do with the hunt or anything. But this was the first ever game I had played when the hunt came out. I was right there waiting for the game to open. I went in, and this is the game that I chose first because it was the one that I first saw out of all the portals. So I went through this one first, and I think it was the hype that made this one go up so high because I was really excited to play this, the hunt event at least, not this game. But I really enjoyed doing this one with my brothers. We had a lot of fun, and just the hype carries this one way higher than the others. But if this was not the first game I had played, it'd probably be in the 30s or 40s, to be honest with you. Adopt Me was really well made as well. You basically had to go into 3 different portals, which took you to different times of the game, and you had to do different little mini games for it. The first one, you had to collect some crabs. The second one basically had you memorize where something was. It was basically like a memorization puzzle game. And the third one was basically tile falling. It felt a lot like that Squid Game one, but it was a lot more open, and you could tell which ones were the ones you don't want to go on because they wiggled around a little bit. So I thought this one was well made. It had 3 little mini games to play, and I actually really enjoyed it. I streamed it as well, so yeah, it was enjoyable. I liked it. I am aware that this one was lazily made as well. There was no hunt theming, you just had to get 50 kills, I'm pretty sure. But this was the first time I had ever played this game, and I really liked it actually. I'm definitely going to be playing this game again in my free time, and I actually just really liked killing people with the sniper. That's what I used most of the time, so it was really fun. I felt like I was an absolute pro gamer, but you know, I loved this one. So Hunt wise, it was really bad. It'd probably be in the like 60s for hunt related stuff, but I really like this game and it was the first time I'd ever played it. So it's this high up for that reason.
Man, who's there?
The animations for the cats in Warrior Cats was very, very good. I like the animations of the cat and how it runs. I thought it was very well animated, as well as the world. It was very well made. I didn't look around too much, but you basically had to look around for some eggs and it would give you the badge, so it was like an actual egg hunt. And I thought it was very well made because of how well the map looked, and you had to just kind of look around for some eggs. I thought it was really fun and well made. This was another tower defense game, and it's actually, I'm pretty sure, called TDS. But it was very well made as well. The reason why it's this high up, other than the other tower defense games, why it's much higher than the others, is because it actually used the core block skin, which is in a lot of these games, to its advantage. It made it the final boss, and it made the bad guys blue, which is the theme for the hunt, and I thought it was really well done. There was the core blocks warriors, there was the little fellas as well. I thought it was really fun, and they had like this separate little portal that they came out of, so it was really cool, and that's why it's this high up. I was not expecting this game to do as good of a job as they did. It was basically Guitar Hero, but it was themed very oldie, and so it was like black and white. It felt like an old movie, and it was really cool, really well done. There was cutscenes and everything, and the song that they played, that they chose to, you know, let you play as Guitar Hero, was pretty fun as well. And I just really enjoyed the aesthetic. It didn't really have anything to do with the hunt, but I thought the theme itself was really well done. So yeah, that's why it's this high up. In our number 10 spot, we have Need More Friends. I did not expect this one to be as good as it was, and to a lot of people this probably is not anywhere close to their top 10, but for me, I really enjoyed it. This is another one that I streamed, and basically you had to walk around the house and get 10 crystals, which opened a portal and let you do this fun little obby. You had to find a bunch of numbers around the obby, and the obby itself had a bunch of mini games, like trying to put a fish on the line or something like that, and I thought they were really well done. I spent a lot of time looking for numbers, but it was a lot of fun. The chat was interacting with me the whole time, so it was really enjoyable. There was boulders that ran down towards you. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, that's why it's this high up in number 10. Slap battles was also really fun. You had to slap a certain amount of people to get the extended hand, and then ride a plate over to this island with a castle, which you then had to put your hand inside of this little crevice in the castle, and then dig up a treasure chest, which gave you the badge. And I thought that was really fun, and there was a western guy in there that kind of like gave you the mission, so I really enjoyed this one. It was a little frustrating when people tried to slap you, but that was it. I thought it was a lot of fun. This one was also one that I expected to not be as good as it was, but it was very, very good. You basically had to go into these little portals that brought you into some sort of obby or mini game or something like that, and then it led up to a boss fight. The mini games I thought were really well done. The designs of all the worlds that you went into were very cool. I liked the colors, I liked the art, it was very neat. However, the boss fight was not very good. The boss only had 2 moves, and it was really predictable what it was going to do next. So, for that, it goes down a little bit. But I really loved the design of the game and the mini games that you did before the boss fight. This was nothing like what I expected. Not only did it start you out with the very old Roblox loading screen, it basically used all of the old Roblox things. It had a bunch of old starter packs, like mesh packs that you could use. There was a bunch of old sound effects, like this pulling out the sword and using it. That was like one of the very old Roblox sound effects. It gave me so much nostalgia when it did that. And it's basically you had to pick a team, and if your team won, then you got it. But it was a ton of fun because it brought me back to the old days of Roblox, and it was very enjoyable. So that's why it's this high up. But yeah, they did an awesome job with this. This is one I did on stream and with one of my best friends. We did this one together, and it was actually a ton more fun than I thought it was going to be. They made their own SCP monster and fit it into the lore. Basically, it could bring you to different dimensions and stuff, but basically you had to unlock this little room, and you had to get past these giant monsters that were crawling towards you, and you had to get into this house. Into the house, you had to get this relic that was like really, it was like a priceful artifact and stuff, and you had to defeat a bunch of bad guys to get it, and then you went through back the mirror in which you came, and it was very well made. It was very fun. I had to kick down a bunch of doors and stuff, but doing it with my friend and on stream really made it even better than it already was. But they made it a whole story and everything. They put in a lot of effort, obviously, and so I loved it for that. This one actually blew me away. This one was basically its own little story with voice acting and everything. You basically had to walk around this facility and upload malware to bad guys that you're going against, and then get the heck on out of there. But basically it was like a stealth mission, and it was a ton of fun because I had to sneak around this facility not knowing where I was supposed to be going and kill a bunch of bad guys silently in my way. And it was a ton of fun. There was a helicopter chase scene in there, and this was very surprising that they put in this much effort, because this is its own little world that they've done, and I really hope they do this kind of thing in the future, because I loved this and it was a ton of fun. I mean, I don't look at how impressed I am, but I was impressed. Don't worry, I really was. This game is basically a ripoff of Blade Ball, but they put in so much more effort than Blade Ball did, and that is why they're at the number 4 spot. This one is called Death Ball, and basically you had to do this boss fight against Coreblox himself while hitting the ball, dodging all the attacks that Coreblox had against you, and if you were good enough, you would survive, and if you did, while killing him, you got the badge. This one was a ton of fun. I did this one off stream, but it was a ton of fun that I did it by myself. I mean, I did have a few people helping me. Not that I knew them, but, you know, they helped. But it was a ton of fun, dodging his attacks, hitting the ball at him. I felt like a superhero. It was super fun. I loved this one so much. It was so good. This game, I know you're going to be weirded out by why this game is number 3 on my list, but I actually love this one. It had a little bit of story. It had a really good sense of humor. It had smart puzzles that I enjoyed, which were easy, but I liked them nonetheless. And it was basically about breaking into this duck headquarters and, you know, just trying to blow it up. It was a ton of fun. I don't even know where this bunny was that I had that was following me, but there was a little bunny following me. There was this security duck that was following me, and he was really funny. He had sunglasses and a flashlight, and it was a really cute one that you had to, like, get through and stuff. And then eventually, once you escaped, there was a prize duck that you had to press, which unleashed a bomb. But basically, it exploded the entire duck corp, which was all your fault. And I thought it was really funny. This one was really good. I highly recommend you go through this one if you have not. It took about 10 minutes, but it was so fun. It was absolutely worth it, and I loved this one so much. Doors was already my second favorite game on Roblox, but the fact that they put in a separate game mode just for this was absolutely crazy. Basically, this was under the normal level of doors that you do before, where you start at -50 and you have to work your way up to door 1, and that's when it ends. But basically, you have to survive. There are a few enemies. There's one that if you look at him, you get hurt. He's like a big, tall, red, sparkly eye guy. There's basically Rush, but he stops every once in a while to catch you off guard. And then there's the timer. If you don't find another lever to upgrade your time, then you get game over by the timer. It was a ton of fun. It was stressful. It was hard, and I loved this one. It was super fun. I already love Doors how it is, but this made it even better. If you've known me in any way, then you already know what the first game's gonna be, and I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. My favorite hunt event in Roblox was 100% the Piggy update. The Piggy is my all-time favorite game on Roblox. It stopped making updates about a year ago, but during COVID, this was one of the games that just kept me playing every week. They had an update every week. It was so fun. The story kept me invested. The game was really fun to play with my brothers. My friends didn't want to play this with me because I'm a loser, but this game was super fun. I loved this game until they ended it, and then they updated it for the event, and it had like 2 brand new piggies. It had 2 new maps that were all like intersected into this one thing, and it was so fun. The puzzles were good, the map was good, and basically you started out in this like castle kind of thing because of this time machine fox guy that like kind of takes you to, because he wants this golden egg. And so you crash land in this castle, and you have to get your way back because the time machine's broken. But basically, you fix it up, and then it takes you into this new area, with this blind piggy, which is really fast. He's blind, so he can't see you, but there's this little eye fella, and if he sees you, the bad guy will come running after you because he can kind of see through the little guy's eye. So it's very interesting. The puzzle on this one took a little bit to get, but once you did, it felt super rewarding because it was kind of difficult, but it was so fun. And the cutscene was really cool at the end where you finally get the egg that the fox guy was looking for, and of course he throws the egg at you because he wants all of the prize to himself. But this one was a ton of fun to do because I really miss Piggy, and this one brought back a little bit of nostalgia for me because it kept basically the same animations and stuff like that. So it was super fun and I loved this one, and that is why Piggy was my favorite Roblox Hunt event. So overall, what were my thoughts on the Roblox Hunt event? I don't think it was bad, and I don't think it was extremely good either. I had a ton of fun playing this, however, I think it was extremely long. I think they could have shortened this down by about 30 games. Maybe more. Probably more, actually. Maybe 40 games. Yeah, that probably sounds about more like it. But I spent a lot of time doing this, and but for the most part, I enjoyed it. In terms of improvement, I think Roblox needs to pick some better games, because I know there are a lot of games on Roblox that would have put in a lot more effort than some of these games did. Simulator games. But yeah, they could have put in a lot more effort than some of these games did, and I think that Roblox needs to pick games that not makes them money, but cares about their game. However, this is the Roblox Hunt First Edition, that is its actual name, and seeing as it's the first edition, there will be more of these, and I look forward to playing them and making another video ranking them all again.